Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Dawa Dabanya Shala. Here through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Just want to bring out a few precepts. Give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Masek Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash, and Lashawan Kodesh, the Holy Tongue. All praises on this Shabbat. Bringing out a few precepts. The title of this sit down is going to be The Mark of the Beast. Charagma is the RFID microchip. The RFID is the microchip. There's a lot of confusion out there and a lot of brothers bringing out different doctrines. But through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, we'll bring out this little sit down. First precept I want to bring out is Daniel 4:17 to prove the Most High is in control of everything that happens on this earth. Daniel 4:17, and it reads, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and by the demands of the by the word of the holy ones, Salakia, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and gives it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over the bases of men." Read that again, Daniel 4:17. "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and by the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living," that's us that are still out here on earth living, "may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and gives it to whosoever he will, and he sets up over the basis of men." Obviously, we know that the Most High is in control of everything through the storms and all the judgment bringing to so-called, a.k.a. Babylon, the United Snakes of America. Daniel 4:17. I'm going to one of the famous precepts, Job 9:24. Job 9:24, and it reads, "The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" I'll read it again. Job 9:24, "The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" We all know who this world is given to, the wicked. So-called Amalek. So-called Illuminati that's running this world, trying to set up his New World Order. But the only New World Order coming is from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Ba'Shem Rakakadash. His cashless society. He wants to implement martial law and all his other madness. Martial law, cashless society, mark of the beast, which is the topic of the sit down. Let's go to Romans, New Testament, Romans, first chapter, the 22nd verse. Romans 1, I'm going to start from the chapter, from the 22nd verse. Reads, "Professing themselves to be wise, they become fools." Obviously, because the wisdom of this world is foolish to the Most High God, Yahweh. Romans 1:23, "And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made to corruptible man, made like to a corruptible man, and to the birds and the four-footed beasts and the crawling things." Read that again, Romans 1, verse 23. "And changes the glory of the uncorruptible God," which we all know is Yahweh Ba'Shem Masek Yahweh Shai. He doesn't commit iniquity, and he's uncorruptible in anything that he does. The justice, the righteous power of Israel. Into an image made to a corruptible man. When you look up the definition of corruptible, let's look up the definition. I got it right here. Capable of being corrupted, susceptible of deprivation, salakia, which may decay or perish the human body. Definition of corruptible. capable of being corrupted, susceptible of deprivation, which may decay or perish the human body. Just to give you an idea, that image that these so-called Edomites out here pushing out here, and that corrupted this whole world and deceived this whole world. Romans 1:23, Romans 1, the 23rd verse. Let's go to precept that into the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha, we're going to go to 1 Maccabees, 3rd chapter, the 48th verse. How did they do this? These wicked Edomites, Amalek, so-called Illuminati, so-called devils that the Bible speaks of. 1 Maccabees 3 and 48, and laid open the book of the law, which we all know the book of the law is so-called Holy Bible, our book, our history, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Read that again. 1 Maccabees 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Okay? So they you know that they read the Bible, because everything they come out with, all their holly folly movies, everything is based through the scriptures of the Bible, but they don't have the true understanding, because we all know it's only given to Israel, point blank and period. Find that in Psalms 147, 19 and 20, Psalms 78, verse 4 and 5, Baruch, the 35th and 36th chapters, of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High is only given to his servant Israel, point blank and period. You can't get around that. Let's stay in Apocrypha and precept that. Let's go to the Wisdom of Solomon. The Wisdom of Solomon, the 15th chapter. We're going to start at the 4th verse. Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 4 reads, For neither did the mischievous invention of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with divers colors, the painter's fruitless labor. Verse 5, the sight whereof entice fools to lust after it, and so they desire to form a dead image that has no breath. Read that again. The Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 5, the sight whereof entice fools to lust after it, and so they desire the form of a dead image that has no breath. Verse 6, both they that make them, they that desire them, and they that worship them are lovers of an evil things, and are worthy to have some such things to trust upon. Read that again. Wisdom of Solomon 15 verse 6. Both they are that make them, they are desired them, and they that worship them are lovers of evil things, and are worthy to such things to trust upon. So we all know that they in Job 9:24 changes the faces of the judges. How did they do that? By having an artist paint their evil things, their faces onto the Most Highs and anything that heaven possess, which is holy. And they made a form of a dead image that has no breath. And both they that make them, that desire them, and worship them are lovers of evil things. Point blank and period. So we all know that false Caesar Borgia, the false beetle picture of Yahweh Shai Mashiach with that doggy stringy hair with blue eyes. We all know what image they're referring to, which everybody trusted here in Babylon. Everybody, is especially the Latin tribes. I mean, I'm from the tribe of Ephraim, and I know in my home, my mother had Caesar Borgia all over the house, and all her santos and all her, idolatry all over the place. because of lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding. Read verse 6 again. Both that make them, they that desire them, and they that worship them are lovers of evil things. Can't get around this. Let's go to Ezekiel 7 verse 20. Ezekiel 7 verse 20. Ezekiel 7 verse 20 reads, as for the beauty of his ornament, he sets in it majesty. But they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them. Ezekiel 7 verse 21. And I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. We all know who the wicked that the Most High is referring to. So-called Amalek, so-called Illuminati, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all you so-called devils that want to push your New World Order, your captured society, implement the mark of the beast, martial law, so forth and so on. Ezekiel 7:22. My face will I also turn from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robbers shall enter it and defile it. We all know it's our homeland, Jerusalem. Ezekiel 7:23. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Ezekiel 7:23. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Ezekiel 7:24. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. Ezekiel 7:25, verse 25, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and they shall be none. Okay? So talking about the worst of the heathen, we all know all of the heathens are wicked as hell. But who are the worst of the heathen? I already went through it. Illuminati, so-called Amalek. And I'm going to prove that. Let's go to Exodus, the 17th chapter, and starting from the 14th verse. Exodus 17 and 14 reads, and Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book. We know what book it is. The Holy Bible. Thus said the Lord, thus said the Bible. And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek under the sun. Salakia, under heaven. Read that again, Exodus 17 and 14. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek under heaven. Verse 15, and Moses built an altar and called it Yahweh Nessi. Verse 16, and he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. I love the way that sounds. Read it again, Exodus 17 and verse 16. And he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So you devils know that, the Most High and the King is coming for y'all, because y'all are the worst of the heathen, the Amalek, the ones running is wicked, and the ones that the Most High turned the earth over to per Job 9:24. Let's precept that, the worst of the wicked. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 24, verse 20. Numbers 24 verse 20 reads, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Read that again. Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. We all know about Edom. We all know, they're going to perish off the face of the earth. But Amalek is the worst of the heathen. Yahweh expressed it through Exodus and Numbers and various other precepts. And why? Why is it? Let's go to Revelations. Revelations 12th chapter. Revelations 12, verse 17. Revelations 12 and 17 reads, and the dragon which wrought with the woman, who is the woman, the bride's maid, obviously Israel, and went to war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. I'll read that again. Revelations 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. But everybody states that the laws are done away with. We're talking about the last book of the Bible, Revelations. And who the war is coming against Israel, because the true prophets of the Most High that keeps the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Point blank and period. Point blank and period. The war is against us. And in Galatians 6 and 12, we know that we at war with the wicked, the spiritual demons out here in Babylon, that every day just want to, their mischief against us, and their target is against us. They're the ones taking down the videos, attacking different camps, playing around with the views. And soon to come, per Amos in the 8th chapter, that the famine of the word is coming, where you will not see videos, you will not see the brothers pushing the truth out in the street. That's just the way it is. It's through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Everything is controlled. Like I said in Daniel 4:17, the Most High ruleth on earth, so that the living may know that He's in control. Let's go to Revelation 13, the 14th chapter. Revelation 13 and 14, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. We all know Caesar Borgia, the devil that the Bible speaks of, was killed with the sword of the Most High, but through that image, still lives to this day. Everybody worships that. You see it in all the houses and throughout all these wicked whoredom churches out here, all the idolatry. It still lives to this day. 13 and 15, he had made power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And we all know our forefathers they were forced and through violence and actually death to worshiping that image, that image of the beast, that so-called white boy Jesus, who is not the King of Kings, Lords and Lords of Israel, described in Revelations, the 1st chapter, the 14th verse. Verse 16, Revelation 13 and 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hands or in their foreheads. Verse 17, that no man may buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the beast. Verse 18, here is the wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. hundred, three scores and six. We all know, like the king said, here is the wisdom, let him that have understanding. There's so much confusion out there through Yasha'Allah. Is the mark of the beast, the chip. I mean, it's clear as day. Let's blue letter some of the, let's blue letter the mark. And I'm going to go into a couple of scriptures. Revelations 13 and 14. There's blue letter. Verse 14. The image called that Revelations 13 and 16 and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Let's find out what that mark is.
Strong's G 5480, Charagma. Charagma.
Charagma. Charagma. Definition: a stamp, an imprinted mark. A mark stamped on the forehead or the hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. I'm going to read it again. Definition: a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Things carved, sculpture, graven works, idolatry, images. Okay? A stamp or imprinted mark. Let's go to Leviticus. Leviticus 19, I think it's the 28th verse. Through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, 28th verse. Yeah. Leviticus 19:28 reads, Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. Let's do blue letter cuttings first of all.
Strong's H 8296, Seret. Seret.
Seret.
And second entry, Sareteth.
Sareteth. Seret and Sareteth. What's the definition? Outline of biblical usage. Incision. Cut. Again, the outline of biblical usage. Incision. This is from Leviticus 19, verse 28. The definition of cut. Saret. It's an incision. Let's find out, nor print any marks. Let's find out what marks. In Leviticus 19.
Strong's H 7085.
Kehakeh. Definition: incision, imprintment, tattoo, or mark. Repeat it again. Definition: incision, imprintment, tattoo, or mark. So I don't know what the controversy is with a lot of brothers out there talking about the mark of the beast. We're forbidden to print or any cuttings in our body, period, as Israelites. So I don't know what the doubt is, because any cutting means any cutting. And here is described as an incision. Let's go to Second Kings. 2 Kings verse 18 and the 21st verse. 2 Kings 18 and the 21st verse. And it reads, Now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of the bruised reed, even upon Egypt. And we all know Babylon is spiritual Egypt through the scriptures, aka the United Snakes of America, on which if a man leans, if they lean on the philosophies, on the ways of the heathens, follow the heathens, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt unto all that trust upon him. So obviously we know that if you follow the ways of Babylon, follow the king here, and lean on their understanding. I'm going to read it again. 2 Kings 18th chapter, 21st verse. Now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of the bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, let's blue letter that. What does it mean to lean? If a man lean.
Strong's H, 5564.
Samach. To lean or lay upon, to rest upon, to support, to uphold, sustain. To lean or lay upon, to lean against, to support. If you support the ways of spiritual Egypt here in Babylon, it will go into his hand and pierce it. Let's blue letter the word pierce. 2 Kings 18, chapter 21st verse. Pierce.
Strong's H, 5344.
Nakav. Definition of nakav: to pierce, perforate, to bore, to prick, to be pricked, be designated, to be cursed, blasphemed. Again, the definition of pierce: to pierce, perforate, bore, to pierce, to prick off, to designate, to be pricked. I mean, you can go on and say, and all the debate about it, the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, but through the scriptures, following the philosophies of this wicked world, and we all know that who's pushing this so-called New World Order, cashless society, who's going to implement martial law. It's the worst of the heathens, Amalek, so-called devil that the Bible speaks of, the Illuminati, the Rothschild, Rockefeller, so on and so forth. I mean, there's no way you could get around it. No way you could get around it. Let's go to Revelations. Back to Revelations, the last book, chapter 14, starting from the 9th verse. See what the Most High says about the mark of the beast. Chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship or worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which we all know is Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So he's going to be present. Verse 11, Revelation 14:11, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. Verse 14 and 12. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. I mean, it's just cut and dry. I know there's so much confusion out there. I just want to bring out this little sit down about the mark of the beast, Charagma. All equals the RFID chip. It talks about pairs. We're forbidden to be cut, make any marks on our bodies through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in Leviticus 19th chapter. No matter how you look at it, if you take the chip, you know you're going to be destroyed. Point blank and period. I just read your judgment. You're going to burn day and night. Day and night, you're going to be tormented forever and ever in the presence of the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, and the holy angels. And I hope this was edifying and hopefully put some clear points. The mark of the beast is the RFID chip, point blank and period, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Israel endure to the end. Enjoy your Shabbat. Shalom.